Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning to those of you joining us on the West Coast today. Segal Select Insurance would like to welcome you to today's online presentation. Part 1, Meet the Underwriters, Cyber Liability Insurance Revealed. Now I'd like to introduce our speakers. We have Kevin Maloney, our Underwriting Officer at Chubb Specialty Insurance, and Brian Smith, our Chief Operating Officer with Segal Select Insurance. Now I'll turn the call over to Brian.
Thank you, Liza, and welcome everyone. Today, for those who have attended our webinars in the past, we're deviating a little bit because cyber liability is a relatively new product that we've been specialized in promoting. We decided to try and bring in the underwriters that we're dealing with, and we have pre-qualified and selected 2 different carriers while we develop this product, while we try to customize it for our multi-employer and public sector clients. So in this particular webinar, we have Kevin Maloney, who is with Chubb, and then next month we'll be doing a very similar webinar with an underwriter from the Beasley Group. So this is going to be an opportunity. If you have questions and you want to ask a specific one to Kevin about how Chubb is addressing this type of product, please type it in and we'll address it at the end. But we're going to go through both educational of what cyber is all about, and we'll start right off with that. As in all of these type of webinars, in particular now on cyber, since it's still relatively new, the legal caveat, we're not lawyers, we don't practice law, nothing we say in here is going to be a binding interpretation of coverage. I think you've heard this from us repeatedly, but we do need to put it in here. But moving into the subject matter of cyber liability, what is it? We're talking about a data breach event and what that may involve. So I'm going to define the data breach, and I'm going to let Kevin tell you what it involves. Data breach, it's any type of misplacement, loss of information. It can be information that's in a media format. It's information that's in paper format. It could be in the cloud, a hard drive, a USB drive. It is information that gets out there that should not get out there into the public or to someone who wasn't entitled to it. Kevin, talk about what it means, though. What type of information are we talking about?
Thanks, Brian, and welcome, everyone. We have 2 types of data that can be possibly taken or misplaced, and it's called PII or PHI. It's typically referred to financially related information, names, social security numbers, possibly a driver's license number, a financial account number. It could be personal health information, medical records, healthcare plan info, but it could also be user IDs, passwords, or even IP or trade secrets. All of these would have some sort of value if placed in the wrong hands.
So as we're talking about it, let's start with some examples. And that this is a real topic. It is something that you need to be concerned with, and looking at examples right up front maybe help to focus the issue. So the first one is an employee negligence, unencrypted flash drive, 50,000 patient records involving now class litigation that has been filed. You can read through these ones. The second one was a health network selling photocopier machines. Someone sends back one that's off lease. The hard drive hadn't been cleaned. It was unencrypted. It had PHI information on it. HIPAA found out about this one, $1 million fine. You can see that some of them are criminal intrusions. This is what I think most of are concerned with is the outside hacker. These are the big headline type issues. Let's focus on Target, the one that's most recently occurred. But they are big, high profile, and they can involve, in these 2 examples, either 400,000 records or 700,000 records. They can involve tens of millions of records. What may be more important on all of these is whether the data was encrypted or not.
That's true, Brian. Another point here that I like to look at is the last one, which is the benefit fund in the Midwest, which experienced a computer error that printed the Social Security numbers of beneficiaries or participants on the outside of the envelopes. This was a simple human error that could have been, it was quite a big breach that required notification.
One we had recently with one of our clients, it was a health and welfare plan. They were sending out EOBs, explanation of benefits, and sent one to John and had 4 others in it. Stuffing the envelopes incorrectly. This is one I understand is relatively common. So there's a whole series of types of examples, and all of them do not necessarily involve these sophisticated hackers.